That's right. NXT stand and deliver. You know the drill by now. Predictions, I go online and I look for the card, and they pretty much have, like, they don't have, like, the actual order. They just, they just stack them up. So if it's not the order, then whatever, it's not really the end of the world. So we're just gonna go by what the, the site is telling us. So first match is the NXT Tag Team Championship Triple Threat match. We've got Gallus versus the Creed Brothers versus Channing, Stax Lorenzo, and Tony D'Angelo, also known as the Family, right? I thought they were the Family. So, okay. So you had Tony D'Angelo versus, Dijak in the Jailhouse Street fight, and Tony D'Angelo is about to lose, and Dijak saves him right at the end. And Tony D'Angelo's like, man, that's loyalty, and I respect you for that. We're going to get after the tag team titles. I really like the way they were doing it. Oh, I forget what it was. He was like something. We're going after the tag team championships, and Channing was like, oh, okay, cool. And he was like, no, you and me are going after the championships. And Channing was like, really? So I thought that was really adorable. It feels like Gallus is going to retain. It feels like the Family aren't really in line for a shot, at least right now. I know that they, just got together, and their storyline is all about, being together and being loyal and everything like that. So, it kind of seems like the fairy tale ending for that would be for them to win the championships. And I mean, with that being said, right, you've got the Creed brothers, and they've been chasing the titles for a very long time now. And, Indus kind of became a roadblock for them, and they finally just stepped over that. So it kind of seems like it would make a lot of sense for the Creed brothers to come away with the titles. The least likely to win seems like the Family, Lorenzo and D'Angelo. It seems like they're least likely to win. The most likely thing that's probably going to happen is Gallus are going to win, and the Creed brothers are going. I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like the Creeds are going to get really, really close. It's going to be a lot of close near falls and a lot of pin breakups. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're probably going to get Gallus to retain, and then I don't know, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay. You know what? I'm going to go for the safe option. I'm sorry. Okay, shoot me. I'm going for the safe option. I think the Gallus are going to retain the tag team championships. Next, we have the mixed tag team match. Chase U, Andre Chase, Duke Hudson, Thea Hale, and Tyler Bate versus Schism, Joe Gacy, Alpha Rain, Jagger Reed, and Rip Fowler. Can I just say right now, I had no idea what those two's names are, okay? All I know is that they used to be soon to be recognized, the grizzled young veterans. Unless they're not, and if they're not, and if they weren't the grizzled young veterans, then I look like a big doofus right now. At the end of the day, I think that the Schism are definitely going to win, and that's going to develop the storyline because, I mean, listen, as much as they are over, they're not really doing a whole lot, and I think that the Schism are definitely a very good, I don't know the word, but it's a good wrench. It's a good wrench in their works to sort of develop their characters a little bit more and really give them a little bit more of a story to go off of. So I've got the Schism beating Chase U. Next, we've got the NXT North American Championship Fatal 5-Way match. Wes Lee versus Axiom versus Dragon Lee versus Ilya Dragunov versus JD McDonough. Okay, so first thing right off the bat, I don't think Ilya and JD are going to win. I think that they are going to be too busy smacking each other up, and they're not going to be able to focus on winning the championship. Axiom, man, I love Axiom. I love Axiom. I love Nathan Frazier. I love Dragon Lee. I think all of them are fantastic. I think every single person in this match is a fantastic wrestler. Who's gonna win? It would be kind of, okay, not weird. It would be unusual, okay, if Dragon Lee won the NXT. Man, if Dragon Lee wins the NXT championship it's his debut match, right? It is, because he wasn't in. Okay, because remember when JD threw someone, Wesley, I think. No, he threw somebody into Dragon Lee, and then they all started smacking each other up. Okay, I think that Wesley is going to retain, and Dragon Lee is then going to face him at the next pay-per-view. If we're thinking, let's think, right? Let's stop. Everyone stop and think about the next pay-per-view. What is the most likely outcome for the next pay-per-view? Who do you most likely, and don't say Dragon Lee because it's just too soon. It's too early. You can't say Dragon Lee. That's not fair. I think that Dragon Lee is going to be the challenger. I see Dragon Lee as the challenger. Who is going to be, what do you see as the best next pay-per-view matchup. And Wesley versus Dragon Lee, that seems like the best outcome. But to be fair, Ilya Dragunov versus Dragon Lee, you got Axiom versus Dragon Lee. That match, just thinking about it is sending my mind into a tailspin. Again, I think the best thing to do is to go off of what the next pay-per-view, not main event, right? But the next the North American Championship match is going to look like. And I just can't see the NXT North American Championship match happening without Dragon Lee in it. I can't see anybody else taking on Dragon Lee. I don't know why. And I feel bad for saying this because it just feels like I'm not going off of like who's going to win. You know what I mean? And I feel like I don't have a strong enough answer for why Wesley is going to win. But I honestly, I really feel like something like that is going to happen. It's all I can think about is someone taking on Dragon Lee in the next pay-per-view. And the premise is, you're really good, but I want to face you one-on-one. Like, that's the only premise that I can see. So with that being said, I really think that because of, the future, right? I think Wesley is going to somehow, I don't know how, okay? I just don't know how. Please don't ask me. I just see Wesley retaining the title, and it's going to be Dragon Lee versus Wesley at the next pay-per-view. That's what I think is going to happen. Next, we've got the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match. Fallon Henley and Kiana James versus Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. I am not going to lie to you right now. I have been following the Kiana James, Brooks Jensen, you're cheating on him or something like that, or oh, there's another guy and I want your bar and all this sort of stuff. I have been following the storyline. I still have no goddamn idea what is going on. You've got the storyline with Kiana James and Brooks Jensen. So, I feel like right now, they don't really need the titles, right? I like how they won, right? I think that, how them winning is actually the way that they won and everything was actually very interesting, and I really think it developed their characters and all that sort of stuff. But I think that Alba Fire and Isla, it seems like right now they seem like the most likely candidates to come away with the win, just because they feel I don't know, to me they just feel like a more cohesive team. You know what I mean? Like, they feel more like together in their spookiness and what have you. I feel like Kiana James and Fallon Henley, they can continue on with Brooks Jensen. They can continue on with the storyline, and I really don't think that the tag team, them losing the tag title, it's weird because I feel like them losing the titles is just going to develop the storyline even more, So I honestly think that Alba Fire and Isla, who cares, man? Well, I mean, I really shouldn't say that. It is her name, so I think that Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are going to come away with the win here. And then, because, Brooks Jensen and them, they just got together, so I feel like that's probably going to, be something in the coming weeks. And, maybe they're going to chase after the titles again. But, yeah, other than that, man, I think it's going to be Team Spooky coming away with this one. Next is the unsanctioned match with Grayson Waller versus Johnny Gargano. Why are you signing a contract for an unsanctioned match? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. That's like saying I'm gonna rob this place, and then before you leave, you put the money on the table. You just completely defeated the purpose. That's not what an unsanctioned match is. The point of an unsanctioned match is that it doesn't count towards your record whether you win or lose. It's literally just the bell rings and they just beat the crap out of each other, and then that's it. It doesn't count towards anything. But since there's no win-loss record or anything like that, since wins and losses don't necessarily matter in NXT, the unsanctioned, in WWE, the unsanctioned part of it kind of is redundant. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it seems most likely that Johnny Gargano is going to come away with this more to be that's what you get for talking about Shawn Michaels. You know what I'm saying? There's not really much else you can really say about that. I really think that Grayson Waller is just going to get smacked up, and Johnny Gargano is going to come away with a win in an unsanctioned match that they signed a contract for. Next, we've got the NXT Women's Championship ladder match. Roxanne Perez versus Gigi Dolan versus Indy Hartwell versus Lyra Valkyra versus Tiffany Stratton versus Zoe Stark. Why was Tiffany Stratton? No, Sol Ruca, I'm an absolute idiot. Oh my God. I'm like, bro, why was Tiffany Stratton in the match with Indy Hartwell? Wasn't she already in it? It wasn't her. So, man, Sol Ruca, man, I'm kind of upset she's not in this match. All right, I think that Roxanne Perez is going to retain. Mainly because this whole, thing, well, okay, all right. Let's slow down. Let's go back, okay? Come back to square one. You've got Lyra Valkyra, Zoe Stark, Gigi Dolan, Tiffany Stratton, and Indy Hartwell. Out of all of them, I feel like Gigi Dolan is going to win. Because, I don't know. Tiffany Stratton, you have to understand, man, that it's just too soon. It's too soon. You have to build up their character and their rapport. Am I saying that right? The point is, I think that you need to build them up just a little bit more before you slap the title on them, because you don't want them to get the title on them too soon and like they're not ready, or like their character isn't like. Well, to be fair though, I mean, Tiffany's going around with her epiphanies and whatnot, and Gigi's, you know, she just got through that whole storyline with no, what's her name? I genuinely don't know her name. I'm not even trying to be funny right now. Okay, let's go with oh my god, I don't know why, because it just doesn't seem likely. But then again, it's like, oh, the story, you know, going into it is always Roxanne 100%. But then again, I don't know, that could also be a thing too. I like thinking about it in real time. Okay, my first choice, Tiffany could win. Tiffany could win. She could definitely come out of the match with a win, just surprisingly, you know, like Tiffany scrambling up the ladder and, you know, smacking, get off, you know, and then taking the title. Okay. Okay. I think Roxanne, right? Roxanne is my first choice. Tiffany is my second. Man. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I genuinely feel like Roxanne is going to retain because she never actually lost it. But then again, if she never actually lost it, then it makes... Folks, help me out, man. Help me, please. Roxanne, man. I can't. I don't know. Roxanne's winning. I don't know. Because it just... Roxanne's winning. I please, no further questions. Roxanne's winning. Roxanne's retaining. Finally, we have the NXT Championship match. Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes. He is him. And Melo don't miss. So, it makes a lot of sense that if Braun Breaker loses, he's going straight to the main roster. That makes a lot of sense. Carmelo definitely does seem like the next in line to be the face of NXT. And Braun Breaker, although there's a part of me that just feels like I don't know, man. I don't know what is wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. But for some reason, my brain is like, he's not ready for NXT. He's too, like, he's not green, but, like, and he's not ready for NXT. He's not ready for the main roster yet, man. What is he going to do? Feud with Maximum Male Models? You know, like, where is he? He's going to be a small fish in a big pond. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many different avenues and storylines going on that, like, he himself just... He just seems too, like, micro in a macro world. And I feel bad saying that, but that's just how I'm feeling. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think that Carmelo Hayes is going to win, and then they're going to do like some sort of thing where Braun starts like waving and bowing to everybody, and that is going to be his swan song for him going to the main roster. And I assume we're going to see Braun Breaker show up to maybe Raw or SmackDown. I feel like Raw, just because like it'll be faster, you know, since it's like still fresh in our minds, you know what I mean? But then again, they could just do the thing where they just slap a card up and go, hey, he's going to be on SmackDown, you know, even though a surprise would be a lot better. So I feel like at the end of the day, Carmelo's going to win. I'm going to go with Carmelo, and Braun Breaker's going to go to the main roster. That's who I'm going with. Who do we have? I think that the family, D'Angelo and Lorenzo, are not going to win as of right now. I just think it's too soon, right? And I think Gallus are going to retain. And maybe that is potentially going to culminate to a one-on-one match right down the line. If not Gallus, then I feel like it's going to be the Creeds, but I just don't see it being the Creeds. I think Gallus are going to retain, and maybe the Creeds are going to win it at some point down the line, right, against Gallus. The Schism are beating Chase U. I think that is a very nice development in their storyline. I think that, I don't know if it's going to be like, you know, one of them is going to like, you know, flub the match or something, and then the other one is going to win. I just think that the Schism are going to overpower Chase U with their spookiness and their evilness. They're going to corrupt them, and I'm actually curious to see, you know, the vignettes and all that sort of stuff. So I think that that's what's going to happen, right? I think it's going to be Wesley retaining the championship, and then I think the next pay-per-view, it is going to be Wesley versus Dragon Lee, a battle of the Lees. right? I think that is most likely the outcome. The spooky gals, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, I think they're going to come away with the win here. I think Fallon Henley and Kiana James, I think their storyline is going to be able to develop, and I don't necessarily think that the tag titles are going to be, fully involved in it. I think that they're going to continue on with the Brooks Jensen storyline, and, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, they're just going to be the spooky champions, and I don't know, maybe at some point down the line, Henley and James are going to, want a rematch, but I think that Fire and Dawn are going to come away with this one. Unsanctioned match, I think Johnny Gargano is going to come away with this one. You got to have a feel-good match, you know what I'm saying? You got to have the match where, the uber heel goes against the uber babyface, and the uber babyface gets over on the uber heel because, the uber heel's been like, rada fada bada, I'm the greatest rada fada, I hate everybody, blah, 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 and Shawn Michaels goes, you're a big dumb doofus head, blah, 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 and then Johnny Gargano's going to be like, shut up, and that's how he's going to win. So I want to change my answer. I don't want to change my answer. I'm going with Roxanne. I'm going with Roxanne. I don't feel like I should go with Roxanne because there's so many other people in the match. Tiffany Stratton does. Okay, but if we're going to go with Tiffany Stratton, then we have to at least consider Indy Hartwell, and we also have to consider Gigi Dolan. And if we're going with Tiffany Stratton, like if Tiffany Stratton seems like a decent win just because I could definitely see Tiffany Stratton scrambling her way up and like sneaking the title, right? Then I think that the same can also be said for Gigi Dolan and Indy Hartwell. You know what? I'm changing my answer right now. I'm changing my answer. I think it's going to be Indy Hartwell. I'm going to say Indy Hartwell is coming away with the win. Let's see. And then we've got the NXT Championship match. Carmelo is going to win because he doesn't miss, and he is him. And Braun Breaker is going to go to the main roster. That's who I've got, ladies and gentlemen. Those are my picks for NXT Stand and Deliver. If you don't like it, lump it. Okay. You have all the freedom to go into the comment section and tell me who you think should win. All right. But that's who I got, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all I've got to say about the matter, folks. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful tonight and a wonderful tomorrow. And as always, big hugs. Big hugs all around.